The Xyrithian High Council chamber was a marvel of interstellar engineering, crystalline walls that shimmered like frozen starlight, anti-grav thrones that floated in serene orbits, and a floor forged from compressed neutron glass, advertised as unbreakable across all known gravimetric spectrums. At least that was the claim. Ambassador Jace Rourke of Earth stood right in the center of it, his hands calmly folded behind his back. He wore the polished Navy uniform of the Terran Diplomatic Corps, though no amount of formality hid his quiet irritation. He had been listening to the same speech for the last 16 minutes spoken in the oily, self-satisfied tone only long-lived species could master. High Chancellor Vihorka, a tall, silver-scaled being with 3 glowing eyes, leaned forward. "Ambassador Rourke," he announced, voice echoing across the hall, "your species' technological ascent is commendable for such a young civilization. But your planet's gravity," his lipless mouth curved into a smirk, "is excessive, primitive, barbaric even." A ripple of laughter moved through the council. Jace had heard worse. Humans had been mocked for everything from their oxygen-rich atmosphere to their insistence on eating food, instead of absorbing solar nutrients. But today the tone was different, too sharp, too intentional. Vihorka continued, "Your claim that Earth's gravity produces superior muscle density and structural stress tolerance, well," he tapped a hologram showing human anatomy. "Frankly, it seems you wish to intimidate your neighbors with brute biology." Another wave of laughter. Jace didn't sigh, but he wanted to. Humanity had joined the Galactic Union only 2 years ago. Every month since, some species or another tried to belittle them, usually safely, from the comfort of lower gravity worlds where bones were delicate and walls softer than Earth concrete. He knew the council expected him to sputter, to defend, to argue. Instead, he simply asked, "Chancellor Vihorka, may I demonstrate something?" The chamber grew still. Xyrithians loved demonstrations, mostly because they were delighted by opportunities to feel superior. Vihorka waved a hand. "Proceed, Terran, impress us." Jace reached slowly into his uniform pocket. Every guard in the room tensed until he pulled out a pen, simple, steel-bodied, gravity-fed dot confusion spread. A few of the floating chairs wobbled as their occupants leaned forward. "A writing instrument?" Vihorka chuckled. "Will you draw diagrams explaining your planet's heaviness?" "No," Jace said. "I'm just going to drop it." Silence, absolute stillness. Even the atmospheric nozzles seemed to pause. Then Jace opened his fingers. The pen fell. It hit the neutron glass floor. Point dash first dot and the floor. Shattered dot, not cracked, not dented. Shattered like a spiderweb of broken obsidian, rupturing in a perfect expanding ring, 20 meters wide. Anti-grav thrones jolted violently as their calibrations compensated for the sudden ground shift. The crystal walls flickered with gravitational alarms. The dignitaries shrieked, scrambling in midair like startled aquatic insects. "High Chancellor?" Vihorka stared down at the ruined floor, 3 eyes stretched impossibly wide. He looked as if someone had punched him through all 3 lungs. What? How? Jace calmly picked up the pen. It was perfectly intact, and twirled it between his fingers. "On Earth, this weighs about 12 grams. Nothing unusual." He clicked the pen once. The sound echoed like a weapon being armed, but on a 1.0 grams world, something falling 1 meter reaches a velocity your neutron glass wasn't designed for. Your material tolerances assume your local gravity about 0. 76 grams. You never tested it under higher gravity impacts. The council chamber erupted in alarmed chatter. "A pen," muttered a Xyrithian physicist in disbelief. "A simple metallic pen." "Breached neutron glass?" Jace shrugged. "Humans drop things all the time. We build our environments to survive it." The room fell silent again. Jace looked around slowly, letting their trembling eyes rest on him. "You mock our gravity," he said, his voice level. "But Earth's gravity is why humans can sprint at 30 kilometers per hour. It's why our bones are dense. It's why our engineers overbuild everything. It's why our ships withstand recoil stresses your materials would liquefy under." He planted the pen back in his pocket. "And it's why a simple object falling from my hand can destroy a floor you claimed was unbreakable." A junior counselor stammered, This suggests humans could be physically dangerous to many species simply by existing. Jace nodded once. We know. That's why we're careful. Another counselor floated closer, voice trembling. And what would happen if a human fell the way your pen did? Depends, Jace said. Feet first, they'd probably be fine. Knees might hurt, but your floor would be obliterated. Several dignitaries recoiled in terror at the idea of a human casually walking in their buildings. Some species whispered about banning Terrans from multi-level structures. Others theorized about catastrophic gravitational mismatches. Virka finally found his voice again small, brittle, nothing like his previous arrogance. Ambassador Rourke, please accept my apologies. We underestimated your world's forces. Jace gave him a respectful nod. Humans don't want fear, he said, just respect. The chamber nodded in unison, some vigorously, some desperately, but Jace wasn't finished. He turned, walking toward the exit, each footstep sending hairline tremors through the damaged floor. Half the council visibly flinched every time his heel touched down. Before leaving, he paused and looked back. One more thing, he said. Vahaka swallowed. Yes? Next time, Jace said with a thin smile, you might want to invite us to a chamber with reinforced flooring. We tend to bring heavier ideas than you expect. He stepped out. Behind him, in the shaken silence of the council hall, several species quietly updated their diplomatic handbooks. New entry humans, category, high-gravity sapiens, handle with caution. Do not provoke. Do not challenge to demonstrations involving kinetic energy. Ensure structures meet Terran impact standards before allowing human guests outside aboard his small shuttle. Jace exhaled at last. He wasn't angry, just tired. Humanity had fought so hard to enter the galactic stage peacefully. But peace required understanding. And sometimes understanding required dropping a pen. As the shuttle lifted off, Jace glanced at the pen resting in his pocket. A thin scratch from the neutron glass rim was its only mark. He smirked. Not bad for a free conference souvenir. He murmured. In the distance, the Zyrethian council hall lights flickered as engineers rushed to assess the damage. Humanity's reputation, once underestimated, once mocked, had crystallized into something new. Respect earned not through violence, not through threats, but through undeniable physics. Earth's gravity had spoken. Loudly,